Just 1 second. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airiyanam, Namo Uvachayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam. Jai Janendra Sabiko. So let's do a quick recap of the first few pages we did. Last time, kaun batayega so far what we have done?
So we did study about the cause and effect, and then what are the types of causes, like the cause that transforms into effect is the upadana karan, and the cause that is there but not really contributing to the effect is the nimitta karan, like
So,
in principal cause and instrumental cause.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, principal cause is the cause, what is being changed. So, anytime any event, any task happens, there's always a reason for it, right? So, no matter what event you see, you'll say, oh, how did it happen? Why did it happen? All those questions will always happen. So, whatever transforms is the upadan karan. Okay? Without which that task absolutely cannot happen. Now, there is also instrumental causes which get the blame for that task to happen, but those are not the real causes. So, those are the nimitta karan. Now, we studied in detail 3 types of upadan karan. And what were those?
Like upadana karan, there are trikali upadana, there is a kshanavritti upadana. And then in the nimitta also there are 2 types, like udasina and prerak.
Prerak and antarang and bahirang. Okay?
Antaranga.
So now upadan karan, let us understand a little bit in detail. Trikali upadan is that it will always have the ability to transform, right? For example, that chikni bitti, the type of mud that can transform into a pot, right, will have always the ability to transform into a pot. Sand, on the other hand, will not have that ability. So that mud has Trikali Upadan, sand does not have Trikali Upadan, right? Now, if it always has the ability, then continuously the pots should be happening. Why isn't that happening? Right? So they said, okay, yes, Trikali Upadan is required. First, it has to have the nature for it to happen. Then, at the moment when that work is done, now suppose the pot is made, or since we are concerned about our Atma, for us, we are concerned about the task of Samyak Darshan. So, the moment you get the Samyak Darshan, 2 things happen. That paryay, that transformed, because Jeev ki hi paryay became Samyak Drishti, right? That moment when that paryay appeared, its ability to transform to the Samyak Darshan paryay is tat samay ki yogyata. Now, it could not have reached that to that paryay until the immediate previous paryay was dropped. So let's imagine our movie reel thing, right? So you have the light is focused on scene B. Now it's moving to scene C. Okay, the scene C had the ability to project whenever the light went on it. Now, for this scene C to appear, did scene 2 have to be done with the light? If that was not done, the scene C would not appear.
Yeah.
Everybody with me so far?
Yeah.
So if you were to reach on step 6, you would have to leave the step 5 to get to step 6. So the going away of that immediate previous paryay is called, what is the name? Who is going to tell me?
Anantara Purva Kshanavati.
Purvavarti.
Kshanavati Paryaya.
Anantar Purva, matlab
Anantara Purva
immediately
Kshanavati.
before Kshanvarti Paryay.
Kshanavati Paryaya.
So you see, it's not that paryay, it's the leaving of that paryay. And the current paryay that transformed had the ability to transform. So those three put together is the upadana, is the real reason.
Prabhuji, this is only for the principal cause, or it will be also for the
This is only
instrumental
for the
cause?
principal cause. Now, nimit is another aspect altogether.
But
For
why
any,
will the same logic not work in Nimit? Because previous paryay of the Nimit cause will end and then the new one will happen. And that's the reason it will become as a catalyst, right, for the actual modification to happen, right?
Since
Like-
it's a
okay,
catalyst,
let's
correct?
think
It's
about
like
this. Let's think about, yes, you're in a way, I understand what you're going through, because no matter what you take, any dravya, the paryayas are constantly changing, right? So in a way, yes, you're right. But the nimit, the reason you don't look at it that way is because the nimit itself is not transforming for the work to happen.
Oh, so the
Right?
focus is more on the principal cause.
Right. Because nimit is always going to be there, but there is no guarantee it's going to be always this nimit. For example, for a pot to happen, there's no guarantee it's always going to be this potter. It could be another potter. It could be a machine making that pot. Nimit could be any of those. But that mud has to be present for the pot to happen. Mud has to have the ability. Or another example is, let's say you're making roti. Now you have this dough, right? This big dough. So the whole dough has the ability to transform to roti. Now you took out one portion of it, you made a lo'i, then you rolled it and you made the roti.
and also for the karya to happen, there is only one upadana, but there can be many nimittas. Correct?
Right. Nimit can be many. But upadan is only one which is being transformed. Now, in the pot example, we already know the potter, the instruments, the water, so many other things are going to be nimit. Same thing in the roti, the person who is making the roti, the belan, the chakla, the tawa, the stove, so many nimits. Right? Now, so everybody good with the three upadans? Trikali upadan, Anantapurva Kshanvarti upadan, and then Tatsamay ki yogyata. Now, nimit, again, we said two types. What is the difference between prerak and udasin? Who is going to tell me? Give me example of prerak and udasin.
We did not reach there, right, Prabhuji?
We may not. I don't remember where we were, but we have studied this in chapter 4 already, all these things. That's why.
Types, and then
where did we stop? I don't remember. But
the
reason I'm
sixth,
summarizing is because we already did all this in chapter 4.
Sixth page, that is after that diagram of classification. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we did go through the Udasin a little bit.
I thought we did. We did talk about Udasin and Prerak Nimit. And of course, we talked about it in detail in chapter 4 also. I think I did spend a lot of time even when we did chapter 4. So I was hoping that this book would be like just a breeze. We would quickly go through it because we already discussed in detail all of this that time. So, okay, who remembers what is Prerak Nimit and what is Udasin Nimit?
I could not, it's not coming to my head.
Okay, I'll give you a clue. What kind of Nimit is a teacher to student?
Oh, that's Prerak Upadan, Prerak Nimit.
Okay, why?
Because there is activity happens, it appears to be directly contributing to our knowledge. So it's inspiring, or it triggers me to listen, and then so it's not
Teacher has an
Udasin, it's Prerak.
intention to teach. Even though it
Yeah.
cannot make you learn. There's no way it can force you to learn. There's no way it can force you to get a certain grade. But it still has an intention to teach. It's doing the task, the itcha, whatever, all that. So that's why it's Prerak Nimit. Udasin Nimit in the same task?
One who is not actually contributing, but is just present, and we kind of think that.
So let's think of examples in this situation of a class and teacher and all that.
The book.
So like, go ahead.
Yeah, Nidhi, आप बोल रहे थे.
The books that we are reading, they are Udasin Nimit. They are always present.
Right.
Yeah,
Books,
that was
They're
good.
there.
laptop, phone, pencil, notebook, all those are Udasin.
So Prerak has some
Yes.
element of effort of the Nimitkar, right?
Intention, effort, yes.
Right. Even though it's not the actual cause,
Yes.
the Prerak Nimit, everyone thinks that the Prerak Nimit, including the Prerak Nimit, believes that they're doing something.
Right, right.
I think in this example, Prabhaji teaching us will be a Prerak Nimit. Is that
Right.
correct?
And everything else is definitely needed. You couldn't study if there was no book.
Yeah. So,
But
for example,
there's no intention that you learn. It's just there.
But all of these will be Udasin Nimit. So the
They're all Udasin.
the iPad, the chair, the desk, everything that we are using.
Everything, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But they all are Nimit in the task. So Nimit can be many, usually will be many. But
we
it
need
cannot make you do still. So that's something you have to keep in mind. So the Nimit, I could want you to study as much as I wanted to. But if you just did not have the ability to study,
including the homework.
or doing you just didn't want to do the homework, then what can the Prerak Nimit do? Right? So okay, so that's the clarification on, and then of course Antrang and Bahirang. Antrang Nimit is like karma, right? It's part of you, it's an internal, and Bahirang is anything outside, that is Pudgal and those things. Okay. So if you want, since I've explained up till here, we can skip all this Trikali, all those details, that chart, Trikali, Shanik, Upadan, and then there should be a chart of Nimit. It may be not.
Auntie, can I ask a question? So, I have read a bunch of the stuff on Nimittupaadan, and in my mind, what's coming, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically like the difference between correlation and causation, right? So the Upadan Karan is the causation, the Nimitta Karan is the correlation. So it accompanies what is happening, the transformation, but it's not the cause of the transformation. It's simply correlated with it. Is that a fair kind of summary of?
Hindi, they call it also Karan, which is the same thing as causation. They call it Upadan Karan and Nimitta Karan.
Right, right. But if we're putting in English terms, right? You know, as a scientific trained
I
person,
mean, it would, yeah, that's fine. Correlation is okay too. But in your English books, I would think they would still use the cause, right?
yeah, they still use the word cause, but I'm just trying to get a conceptual idea.
Right, right.
Correlation, it's always, it accompanies it, but it's not the cause of it, right? It's like, you know, in any scientific study, it's a very big concept, right?
I
Where
would rather have you understand it as the way the technical term is, which is the nimitta cause, but understand it correctly. That nimit will always be there, but that is not the necessary cause of it. Nimit can be many. If the work has to happen, the upadan karan has to be present. Nimit can be A, B, C, whichever one. If the work has to happen, if not this person, somebody else will do it. But
okay,
nimit will always be there.
yeah, and this
Means
concept of
karan will be there.
this concept of eligibility comes up quite a bit in here, right? And this yogyata.
Mhm.
Is that a part of the upadana or nimit karan, or is that kind of a separate category?
Yogyata is upadan only.
So yogyata is part of upadan karan.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yogyata, ananta purvavarti, kshanik paryay, all that is part of upadan. And then they gave all the logic that if only Trikali Upadan was enough, then continuously the pot should be coming out because it has the ability all the time. But that doesn't happen. So you need the other two also for something task to happen. Now, why are we studying this Nimit and Upadan and all those things? Okay. To understand, number one, reality of nature. Number two, to give us peace of mind in day-to-day living. Usually, we always attribute things that happen to us, especially the bad ones, to somebody else. My wife did so, and that's why I couldn't do my task. Or the kids were disturbing, so I couldn't focus on studying. Like all kinds of blame came all the time going on. So there, then the thing to think about is that no, only I am the cause of whatever happens to me.
So basically, in summary, you say that our own Atma is the ultimate Upadan Karan.
Right.
And everything else is Nimit Karan.
Yeah. So let's take example of Arunji getting pneumonia. Let's say he started with a little fever, right? And I don't know exactly what happened, but we're just making this example up. So he got a little fever and he just little sniffles, but he still decided to just go on a walk in the cold. Okay. And then it turned into pneumonia. And then he was weak. And then he couldn't go to the doctor in time. And then it changed into pneumonia. And then whatever the doctor did, let's say it was supposed to get better in a week. Now it took 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So tell me the upadan and nimit and all these things. What would normal people do? Blame it on what? And what is the reality?
Normal people will say not taking care, not taking proper rest, you know, pushing yourself, right? All those things, right?
All those things. I mean, somebody comes to see you, oh, you're not well, okay, we're coming to visit. What are the kind of talks that happen? Everybody's finding a reason why you got it.
Yeah, and everyone's giving you a remedy. So do this, try this. इससे ठीक हो जाएगा. काढ़ा ले लेना, काढ़ा पी लेना, वो उससे ठीक हो जाएगा.
टाइम से नहीं गए थे डॉक्टर के पास, नहीं तो पता चल जाता कि ये है, right?
Yeah.
So,
but the ultimate upadan karan is
right. Who
is
the
it
upadan?
would be papuday karma attached to Arun Bhai's atma.
No, that is not upadan. No.
No.
No. What is the upadan karan?
Well, for the pneumonias, the dravya itself, dravya, the
Which
Udgala,
dravya?
Pudgala
Which
is
dravya transformed to pneumonia dravya?
Yeah.
Namakarma, Pudgala Dravya.
Yes, the Pudgal Dravya went into its Vibhav, the
Yeah.
body, Pudgal body, went into its Vibhav and transformed to pneumonia body.
Where the Namakarma is a Nimitta. Okay.
Naam karma is which nimit? Naam
It
karma,
is,
nahi, pehli baat to that's wrong.
no,
Which
okay.
karma would it be?
Ayu karma?
No,
No.
No.
the Vedaniya Karma.
Asata
Yeah,
Vedana.
Sata Vedana.
And what kind of nimit would that be?
It would be
Tatshan,
Shanika?
Tatshan Yogyata.
no. It's Udasina Karma.
Antarang. You cannot see it.
Internal.
So it's internal nimit. Right? You could see the doctor, you can tell that he went out in the cold, you can tell all those things. But the antarang nimit, nobody can think or tell. That the asata ka uday bhi to nimit tha na.
Is Udasina is same as Antaranga?
Not always. Yes, even though
Because they say R, Udasina, Preraka,
No,
R, Antaranga, Bairanga, they say R.
but Udasinata can also be your
let's say
books.
or in the diagram, where is that thing?
No, not in the.
No, it's not or. It is divided into two types.
Yeah,
In two ways.
it's
In two
either,
ways
it can
actually.
be two different ways of describing it, okay?
Okay.
So it could be both.
Okay,
It
Udasin
Antrang
Nimitta.
and Udasin, or the other way around, Prerak and Antrang and vice versa.
Bairanga.
I would call it Prerak because Asata Vedaniya Karma has a Prayojan.
Yeah,
It knows
Prerak.
what to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, I'm still unclear. What is the exact Upadan Karan here for the
what
pneumonia?
transformed? Whenever you think of Upadan Karan, you have to think what transformed. What transformed here?
So I think Nidhiji was saying like it's just Pudgal Dravya that transforms to.
His body is what? It's a Pudgal. It's his body transformed. Not
And we can
not transform into pneumonia.
just see this Upadan Karan in three forms also. That is first the Pudgal Dravya that is always present, that is eternal principal cause. Then the momentary preceding cause, that is his going out, that is having a low immunity and going out because it is present in the Pudgal Dravya. And then Tatsam ki Yogyata, because of the low immunity, and the Nimit is the cold. He came into contact and he got the cold. That is Tatsam ki Yogyata, that is he got the virus inside his. So that is all Upadan Karan. Then coming to Nimit is that internally he had the karma rising, Asata Vedniya, and outside the cold, the Nimit is cold or the climate.
Yeah, and then so many other things. Maybe his medicine, time senalia, Dr.
and also the actual bacteria or viruses. Those are all Nimit Karan.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and the viruses, that is Prerak Nimit. Okay.
Right. The virus thinks it's doing something.
Right. So you see how, okay, so now let's see where we can start reading. So then, and basically this reading is going to be again, same thing. They're going to prove exactly why, what, and all this. So let's just do it. We'll try to read it quickly so that way we can just finish the reading and if you have any questions. Where did we leave left off yesterday?
Last time we were just at the first diagram where there's Upadan Karan divided into Trikali, Shanik.
After that quickly, okay? So do you want to start,
Yeah, sure. Okay. The momentary principal cause is also known as capable principal cause, Samartha Upadan Karan. because eternal principal cause is always present. If that alone were taken as the fully capable cause, samartha karan, then the intended effect would arise continuously. Thus, the destruction of immediately preceding modification and at that time the eligibility of the movement for the arising of that modification is the capable principal cause. Without that, the effect cannot arise, and in the presence of which effect will, as a rule, arise. In the Tatvarth Loka Vartik, right, two distinctions of the principal cause have been made. One is the incapable principal cause, asamartha upadan, and the other is the capable principal cause, samartha upadan. Among these, it is the capable principal cause that necessarily produces the effect. According to the purport of the Ashta Sahasri,
Yes, it's a name of a book.
this capable principal cause is only that substance which is endowed with preceding modification pur- purva paryay.
Paryay yukta dravya roop.
Uh, that entire thing is not there. Purva paryay.
So it's just saying according to the previous paryay. That's all it's reading.
Yeah, so it says this capable principal cause is only that substance which is endowed with preceding modification. And in the bracket, it says purva paryay. Without any interruption, avya vahita. Vahit.
Avyavahit. Okay.
In this way, from the above analysis, it becomes clear that there is only one capable principal cause, and the effect produced is precisely that for which it is the capable principal cause. Whatever instrumental cause for the effect exists there, it has no power to perform the function of the principal cause. Being only the indicator of the effect arising in accordance with the principal cause, it is called the instrumental cause. And it is on this basis that conventionally, vyavahar, upachar, figuratively, it is said that the effect occurs according to the instrumental cause. From this analysis, it is clear that the determinant cause is not the eternal principal cause, but rather the momentary principal cause. Those who regard instrumental cause to be determinant cause should pay special attention towards this fact. While presenting instrumental cause as the determinant cause, the argument put forward was that the principal clause always exists. If that is considered to be a determinant or capable cause, the effect would have to be arising continuously. In this context, the actual situation is this: the eternal principal cause was taken as a principal cause, and it was said that the principal cause always exists. However, momentary principal cause is also a principal cause, which is not always present. Therefore, assuming principal cause to be the capable principal cause and alleging that the state of continuous manifestation of effect will arise is baseless, because the determinant cause of an effect is the momentary principal cause and not the eternal principal cause. A possible question here could be that if momentary principal cause is the capable principal cause, then what is the significance of the eternal principal cause? Brother, the matter is this: principal cause is spoken as of one's own potency, Nij Shakti. As it has been said, Upadan Nij Shakti hai, जिया जिया को मूल स्वभाव है निमित्त परयोग ते बनियो अनादि बनाव. Potency is of two kinds: potency of substance, Dravya Shakti, and potency of modification, Paryay Shakti. Both of these potencies together are called principal cause. It is the potency of substance when endowed with potency of modification that becomes operative in producing the effect. Potency of substance is eternal, while potency of modification is non-eternal. If the arising of the effect was accepted on the basis of eternal potency, then the perpetuity of the effect would follow. Therefore, it is potency of modification that has been accepted as the determinant cause of the effect. The potency of substance signifies that a particular effect will occur only in that substance and not in any other substance. The potency of modification signifies that the intended effect will occur only at the intended time. Therefore, neither the potency of the substance is insignificant nor is the potency of modification. Both indeed have importance. Yet, the potency of modification alone is the determinant cause of time. Another name for time is also modification. This potency of modification exists in the form of annihilation, vyai rup, of the immediately preceding modification and in the form of the eligibility of the moment. Therefore, both of these are designed as momentary principal cause. For this reason, the momentary principal cause has been described as the determinant cause of the effect. If we include the eternal principal cause, then it may be expressed in this way. The potency of a substance, when accompanied by the potency of modification, is operative in producing the effect. Yet, even in this, it is the momentary principal cause in the form of potency of modification that remains the determinant cause. If the instrumental cause is also to be included in this discussion, then it may be said in this way: it is the potency of substance endowed with the specific Visishta potency of modification in dependence on the contributory cause, Sahakari Karan, that is operative. In this context, during the doctrinal discussion held in Jaipur, Khaniyam, Siddhanta Acharya Pandit Phul Chand ji, while presenting numerous proofs from the scriptures of logic, Nyaya Shastra, gave the following clarification. Some
Okay, so
important.
far, are you guys with this thing? I mean, even though it's mostly repeating what I've just explained, but
Yeah.
I want to make sure that reading it in English is not confusing. It's kind of matching with what we just understood.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. But Auntie, I don't know if I'm sorry to go off on a tangent here, but this English translation is so wordy that it's very easy to get lost in the words. And when you're putting it through ChatGPT or the AI things, you can tell it either do it at a university level or at a grade 10 level or whatever, and it will make it. I'm just telling you, this is like it's so many words. It's like going round and round and round in a circle that the message gets lost. The principal message gets lost.
Actually,
I don't know.
honestly,
I don't know if I'm
even
the
in
only one who feels
Hindi,
that
it is
way.
like that. So it's only simply translating from Hindi to English. But I know, and that's why, because we are the first class that is reading this, that's why I need that feedback. Because I mean, these books are not yet printed. That's the reason we are not printing them. So if we can
I
make
mean,
it
I think
better, we want
if you
to.
give this as an English book to somebody,
Right. They would be
I,
lost.
yeah, I mean, unless like their life depends on memorizing and getting a good score, it's very like it's not well written. Like the translation is not well written because it's not easy to understand. And maybe it's just me who's thinking this way,
No,
but
no, no. I
what
need
I'm
everybody's
suggesting
opinion
is
here.
that the translating team could just experiment. इसको पहले translate करो, फिर उसको बोलो कि okay, अगर if this is a university or a master's level, wording, make it a bachelor's level wording, make it a grade 12 level wording, and just see if if it flows a little bit better. ठीक है, you may lose something, but anyway, I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way, but
I'm trying to think, how do we go? See, what happened is now, see, as ChatGPT is developed, see, ChatGPT or Gemini or any of these things are only as good as the amount of data it has. So with time, of course, they're all improving as more data gets fed into them.
Right,
And
but I'm saying even as it is now, you can just reduce the level. You can just say make it a little
I
bit.
know, but let me think about this, because obviously I cannot ask them to redo this book. What I can do if,
I mean, we can do that ourselves. We can put this into
yeah,
an AI.
what I would like is if you would like to pick up a couple of tough paragraphs that look very confusing, put it through this whatever version you're talking about, and save the instructions, and I'll present it to the team. That'll be a lot easier for them to get a task of what to do. Because I need to prove it to them that, yes, we can get a better result than what we have. Because this book, we already went through a lot of debate, because we had made certain rules that we are going to use Siddhantic words in Hindi only. Then we changed for this book because there is too many of them that it was getting impossible to read it in English if we kept using the Hindi Siddhantic words. So, and it has already gone through multiple reviews. So,
No, it's not
but I'm
wrong. I mean, I'm
still
not saying that's
open to,
incorrect.
no, no,
Yeah.
no, I'm still
Yeah.
open to, because even to me, well, more than even you guys, because let's say, Dinesh, you're more used to understanding things in English. For me, when it comes to spiritual books, my first language is Hindi. And even the Hindi is a bit complicated in these books already to begin with. So I don't blame it that the English is complicated. And then further, it's not the language. With all these words, it makes it even tougher. So I agree with you there. If we can prove it to them that, hey, if you give this additional instruction to bring down the level of language, it's going to make it easier to understand. Yeah, I would like to show them that.
Prabhaji, what
But
I felt is the last couple of paragraphs are
Okay.
actually more repetitive than complex. I think they were trying to
Most
make
of
the
them
same
are,
point
yes,
over and over
repetitive.
again.
Because
So
see,
in terms of level of reading, it was okay. But I think they were trying to make important points, so they kind of went more repetitive, I guess.
and the rest of the few pages are also going to be very repetitive. Like he's already explained it once. Now he's saying this other Panditji said it this way. Then he'll say another writer, author said it this way. Because see, when you're writing a book, you're presenting all different authors' statements, how they explain, which is similar. I mean, the gist is the same of all of them.
So
I I
what I
feel
basically understood from I'm sorry, I'm just going to finish quickly. What I basically understood that there would be a propensity for somebody to let's get a cold, right? But when that cold will manifest itself, we'll need a additional driver known as whatever that momentary principal cause, right? And that's when it'll come to fruition. I think that's all he's trying to say.
Okay, wait, what
Otherwise,
was the
what I understood
example you
that
said?
you
Let's
will
get what?
constantly suffer from cold, right? If it's sorry, if it is because it talks about two causes, right? Let me go back to the text
Three
here.
causes, actually.
Yeah, I'm just trying to ensure
Yeah,
that
so the
this is
gist is, first of all, whenever you're talking about Nimittupaadan, first you have to define what is the work at hand. What is the task that happened? You start with that. And then you say, okay, what transformed into that? So that is the Upadan Karan. Number one, it has to always have the ability to transform. That would be Trikali Upadan. Then that momentary Upadan, when actually that transformation happened.
the timing
And
of it.
the third one is the immediate previous paryay to be gone. Because without that, this won't appear. So those are the three things that will happen.
about the translation, Prabhaji, I feel like it is a translation of the Hindi to the English. It's not a summary. If it is a
That is
summary,
correct.
then we can
And there's a
concise.
reason why we
Yeah,
wanted to keep it like this is
yeah,
because the exams for those, I mean, you guys, hopefully most of you have know both
yeah,
languages, but there will be in the future sometimes students who absolutely don't know Hindi. For
yeah,
them, then they would be searching for these answers
yeah.
only in the English books.
Yeah,
So
but
we wanted to
yeah,
not miss out anything that is in the Hindi
yeah,
books to the English book,
yeah,
so they can find the answers. So that
yeah,
was another objective we had to
yeah.
make sure that
I think
happened.
I'm okay because it's a translation. I mean, even if you put it in GPT, ask for summary, it gives one line. It does not make any
No,
sense.
we are not trying to summarize this
Yeah,
by no means.
yeah,
It's a textbook, so it's not a summary.
No, I understand it's a translation. I'm just saying the translation you could
Could
use
be simpler,
use
and
simpler
I
words
would,
for the
yeah, I
sentence.
would be open to that thought, Dinesh. So
Yeah.
if you don't mind, if you could take pick couple of paragraphs where you think it would make sense, give it a try and send it to me. I would appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Unfortunately, I don't have those advanced tools. I'll have to maybe see if my son can help with that. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. Even you may not necessarily even need the paid advanced ones, because see, the difference between paid and non-paid is that I think in the when you don't pay, it gives you first 10 properly, and then I think it slows down or something I've heard
Yeah.
that, so that's the main difference. But and maybe Amit might know better. He has a paid version, so maybe you can send him the paragraph and see if
Yeah.
it
I,
matters.
I think personally, I think from a translation standpoint, there will not be much of a change, right? What this needs is more of a structure, something like a chapter or saying that what it is trying to do. So, a group of paragraphs where it is
Yeah,
saying that why
I
a
agree. I
principal
agree.
cause, why the eternal principal cause is not the only determinant cause. So that should be a why, and then or that particular model where there are two people talking to each other, a seeker
Which
and
is also going to
this.
happen. So they're going to go through all this, and that's why I'm not spending a lot of time in this. Okay. So
But that's a
Bharat
good
is going
idea.
to say, okay, this author did this author said this, blah, 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 basically justifying the same points, what we've
Mhm.
already explained before. And then the other half of the book is going to be question answers, which will
Mhm.
be, I think, more fun to read, because then through questions and answers, it's going to further clarify.
Yeah. Another way this can be structured is right, as I mentioned, right. The first why was why the eternal principal cause is not the determinant cause. Then explain that via an example rather than this
Which I
lengthy
did for you. So
thing.
we already
Yes,
did
yes.
all this, and
Yeah,
that's why I did
that
that.
should be in the
So you
book.
already have a now solid background, and now you're reading this, so you already know what it is. So that's
Correct.
why I wanted you to
But for the
continue.
book to be self-sufficient, right? Example and then a
Unfortunately,
description
we cannot
makes.
change the book. The
Yeah,
author
no, no.
is no
In the
longer alive,
translation, if you want to
and
add the example, an additional example.
no, we cannot. They don't want to change the books. The
Okay.
Yeah, I
sub
mean, there's a copyright on it, right? So you
No,
can't.
not only that, it will be lost in translation. If you then you'll expect more different every time, correct?
Right,
So
everybody can have an opinion
yeah,
on it, and we
yeah.
are only
Correct.
presenting that author's opinion or whatever it is that he wanted to express.
Okay.
Right? For example, he is expressing something, then he's saying, okay, such and such Panditji expressed it this way. Then he goes on and said, okay, another Panditji said it this way. So right there, he's showing you how every person that explains will have a different way of explaining the
Hmm.
same material.
Correct.
And he's then one of them. Then I'm another one of them. So how many people can you change? So this is a textbook that we took from an author, and we are trying to copy it in English, basically. That's all we're
Hmm.
translating it.
Correct. No, I
Because it's a
agree.
textbook. If it was not a textbook, it would be different. Then we
Hmm.
could revamp it a little bit. Then, reduce even further the Hindi words and kind of, so. But if there is such a thing, Dinesh, what you're saying is, if you can tone it down to from a bachelor's to a 10th grade level, I would like to see what results it brings, because I have not tried that.
Okay, let me
So
see if I
maybe
can.
you and Amit, if you guys can play around with a couple of paragraphs, it would be interesting to see.
Okay.
All right. So let's continue on. Did you get your question answered, Arunji? To cold? Okay. So, okay, so then let's continue reading. Dinesh Burarji बहुत quiet है. I don't remember last class में आप थे भी कि नहीं. Are you a little bit
Sorry,
busy?
yeah, no, I was lost actually when this started because I was not there at the last class. So sorry about
Okay,
that.
so I can understand why you're lost. So if you have any questions, yeah, feel free to ask.
No, no,
I did do a
when
recap of
Dinesh
it.
was explaining what he said is, I'm trying to make sense of this, and I
Mhm.
just asked ChatGPT, what is this all about?
Okay,
Because I was on a different tandem thought myself,
okay.
and the tandem thought was that I'm in trouble by a friend who's not returning me the money that I loaned him, and I said, well, what does that mean in Upadan and Nimit, and how does it
Yeah,
relate?
so let's play that example. So you have a task, what happened? You have a friend who did not return your money, right? So let's find out what is the Upadan Karan now, Bolo.
Well, the Upadan is that there is no intention of him returning the money.
No, no,
Unless
no,
he
no, no,
has the
no, no, no. What
intention.
is the work? What is
But
the task at hand? You
yeah,
are somehow feeling bad about this.
what is the
Yeah.
effect in what level,
What?
correct?
No, no, no. What is the task at hand? Right now, the कार्य क्या है? कार्य है किसी
Telling
दोस्त
them.
ने पैसे वापस नहीं किए and you are not happy about it.
So why don't we start with the effect? The effect is you're not getting the money back, right? And then you go back to the cause.
There are multiple effects here, correct? Money is
Who
one
is
effect and
getting affected?
multi-pieces.
No, it's I'm not troubled by him not returning the money. I'm troubled by the thought that it is causing me trouble, that he's not going to return the money, right? Like there
Okay,
is
okay,
something
I got
about
it.
it
I
which
got
I'm
it.
trying to make
So,
sense. So
okay.
how does it
So
relate to what I'm
seriously,
going
I
through?
want you to take each of these and play it on yourself, right? So you are getting troubled, that you're getting troubled, whatever the task is. Okay. Now, so without who will this not happen? Who is the Upadan Karan here?
Dinesh Burad himself.
Who is getting transformed?
Yeah,
You,
it's me.
your
Yeah,
mental
it's me.
faculty,
Yeah,
right?
it's me. Yeah.
And in this case, is it Pudgal or Atma? बोल कौन बताएगा?
Atma.
Yeah, आत्मा दुखी हो रहा है.
But
Okay.
why not mind? His mind is moving, na, actually. He's thinking, right? He's thinking about it continuously.
That
So why
is
not
nimit.
mind?
The thought process is what is nimit in creating that dukh. दुख का एक्सपीरियंस तो आत्मा को ही होता है ना. क्यों होता है वो अलग बात है. उसका निमित्त कारण है कि उसको राग है उस पैसे से, या उसको राग है उस दोस्त से. क्यों दोस्त ने चीट किया. ऑल दोज थिंग्स कैन बी निमित्त. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट इज द करेक्ट थिंग, डोंट टेक मी रॉन्ग दिनेश, बट आई एम जस्ट
So,
गिविंग एग्जांपल्स ऑफ व्हाट ऑल कैन बी निमित्त कारण. पर
So
anyway,
व्हाट
mind is also nimit.
ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग इनटू द दुख एक्सपीरियंस इज द आत्मा की पर्याय.
Okay.
okay, so I'll read this
Right.
what has been said here, and let's see,
Okay.
And I said, well, explain to me this like a kid, right?
Sure,
Like,
sure.
just like Dinesh said, well, explain to me like a kid, and this is what it spitted out, ChatGPT.
Right.
Okay, so imagine you have a magic seed that can grow into a tree. The seed itself is like Upadan, the real cause, only if the seed is alive and healthy will it grow. The water, sunlight, and soil are like Nimit helpers. They can help the seed grow faster and stronger, but they can't make a dead seed grow. Now, in my case, I gave money to my friend. My friend's willingness to return it is like a magic seed. I tried reminders, I pursued, maybe, I tried it various ways, and the various ways are like the water and the sunlight. And But all these persuasion reminders will only help if the seed is ready to bloom, right? Like my reminders are not going to make my friend return the money unless he has the willingness to give me the money back. So, but my friend is not willing to return me the money. So, no matter what I do, the money isn't coming back. That's why I feel stuck, sad, and worried, like watching a seed that should grow but refuses to sprout.
Mm-hmm.
So he's comparing.
So
He's comparing.
this grief
He's
comes because
calling the task instead of, see, we took the task as Dinesh ji being bothered with it. In, well, I don't know if he's reading chat, whatever,
Yeah.
is taking the task of the money not being returned. So that uska upadan karan wo friend hai.
Correct.
Yeah, there's two separate
Right?
effects.
It's his
One is
paryay that is not returning the money.
Yeah.
there's two effects. The one effect is the money is not being returned. The other is Dinesh's mental state being disturbed.
There's
Correct.
two
Two
different
effects
works
are happening,
happening.
right?
In case
Because
of money not being returned, the friend is the upadan karan, his current paryay. Because upadan karan mein to he has the ability to return. But current paryay mein he is not returning it. Right? So so remember how we talked about the Trikali Upadan and the Kshanik Upadan. So the Kshanik Upadan is not happening. So the work is not happening.
So Trikali Upadan is there.
He's there.
Okay.
He has the ability to return.
Yeah, with that he might return later. Yeah.
Right. That means there's still a possibility of
Yeah.
returning.
आपके मुंह में घी शक्कर. Let's read.
there's one more Dinesh. There's one more paryay, transformation from friend to non-friend. Unfortunately.
Well, no. Well, I have control. I have to control my own actions and intentions and not somebody
Right.
else.
So now Dinesh, now let's look at it the other way around. So let's say Dinesh at this moment is being disturbed by it, right? We don't know yesterday if he was. Maybe it's just right now. Okay. So let's say this moment he's being disturbed, and that is the task, right? That's the effect. Uska upadan karan kaun hai?
He himself.
He himself. Because his atma is parinamit into some dukhi atma, or whatever you want to call it. Right?
But Nimitta Karana is giving money to him.
Nimitta karan is that friend not giving the money.
Right.
And also you are also. And
Now, how will he use this teaching? Tell me, how will you use this understanding of
Because
Nimitta?
he knows the principal cause is he himself, right? And
Right.
so he will not blame the Nimit, which is his friend not returning the money.
That is only one of the nimit. What are the other antrang nimit? That is the bairang nimit, causing misery to him.
Yeah, his
forget about
basically
the money.
considering wealth as a form of sorrow, not having wealth as a form of sorrow.
His own
Or
attachment to the
being
money.
cheated as a form of a sorrow, because of course that's a very bad feeling that my friend cheated me.
I
Now,
think
also there is labhantray. Which karma is coming to fruition?
Antaray kar.
Antaray.
Antray karma, right? He's supposed to get that money back, but कहीं ना कहीं वो लाभांतराय बीच में आ गया. लाभांतराय का उदय आ गया. अब वो लाभांतराय बांधा किसने था?
Right. He has done that himself. Yeah.
So then who is the cause?
yeah, it's me.
We're not trying to make you feel bad.
My wife says that. Who asked you to do it, right? It's me.
But I mean, ultimately, if you're not thinking that this is mine and I am, like, it goes back to the
There's so many
fundamental.
principles here
I
going
think
on,
that
Dinesh,
the
but right
troubling
now we are
fact-
on the Nimittupaadan chapter.
Yeah.
We'll look at that.
The troubling fact is that when a commitment is not followed, that is the troubling me, and I shouldn't be troubled so much by it. I should let go.
No, actually, you should use this knowledge to reduce the trouble. I'm not saying it's going to go away, but pondering upon it is definitely going to help.
You can become a little more at peace with what is happening, right?
Right. So let us say right today at this moment there is labhantray. Who is to say that that antray karma will come into fruition? It will go away, and someday it's going to turn around.
Okay.
And your agitation is only going to help in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But your peace and calm may help in the right direction. So you see, that is how the analysis of some of these principles can actually help in life and make a difference in life. Okay.
Thank you.
And
Anyway,
goes the
sorry.
other way around too. Let us say you helped somebody, gave 100,000 to help them. Now, you think, oh my God, I'm so great. That person was in need, he was in trouble, and I paid him. I helped him out, right? Did you really? No, you were just a nimit in him getting that, maybe he had some punya ka uday. So you just happen to be the instrument cause. So don't take all the, what do you call that? Credit and be proud and all that either. So
That's
it's
actually
okay.
very helpful.
It's okay, Dinesh. Don't worry. That has happened with us also.
It's happening with everybody. But see, this is actually a good, very important point, because if we always consider ourselves as nimit, right?
Right.
Like whatever we're doing in life, we are only nimit for
Only nimit,
whatever is
okay.
happening, right? For in other people's lives, in the world, everything we're doing is nimit.
Exactly.
It's a very helpful way of thinking.
So
And then
we
you're not
know
the doer anymore. Right?
exactly. So number one, you reduce the doership attitude. Number two, you take the blame when you need to take it, when you are the upadan karan, and you take the responsibility where it needs to be taken. And don't do the doership of other people like we usually do, especially when it comes to spouse, raising children. Oh, मैंने मेरे बच्चों को अच्छा घर दिया रहने को, मैंने उनको encourage किया कि वो डॉक्टर बन जाए, engineer और जो भी बन जाए. We always have this feeling that towards the kids, because from the day they are born, we feel like do उनको मतलब ये करो, school भेजो, ये. So it's natural to come. But to be
when you
aware
see
that
yourself as nimit only, that's a very powerful way of thinking. Yeah.
Okay, so we did enough examples to kind of get this down pat. So we just are going to quickly breeze through the reading. So Burarji, if you have the book open.
I have the book. Sorry, what page we were in? I just scrolled down and
16th.
16th?
Page 8. Oh.
16th.
Okay.
We were going to read that Sanskrit thing, and if you don't want to read the Sanskrit, just skip it and move on to the Hindi, just like the mud and all that. I think that's where. Actually, by the way, I have a different version of this book. I have an older version, so some of the things are not going to match with what you read. So.
Oh, sorry. Just give me 1 second here. Nimittupaadan page.
Did you say it's page 16, Amit? Because I have it on
Yes.
page 8. Maybe I have the previous version or something.
No, not
16
English. You
out
won't
of
have a previous version. English should be the same for everybody.
Yeah, 16 out of 60.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
Also, page number 8 in the book. Sorry, 8 is on the footer.
It was 8.
Yeah.
I was looking at the PDF page number.
Okay. So page 8, we're at that paragraph that starts with meaning, right? Meaning just as
meaning,
yeah.
just as when the modification in the form of the pot arises from within the clay, the stick, the wheel, and the human effort, and so on, are merely instrumental causes. For even when the instrumental cause, such as the stick, are present, if a lump of clay abounds in sand, then because it is not internally inclined towards the modification in the form of a pot, that is, because the modification in the form of a pot does not arise within it, the pot does not come into being. Therefore, it is the lump of clay in dependence upon external instrumental causes, such as the stick, and in the presence within of the modification in the form of the pot, that becomes the pot. The stick and the rest do not become the pot. Hence, the stick and the rest are merely instrumental causes.
Did you guys understand that example?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. So if it was sand, then you can have all the instruments, everything available. That's no good.
Right. In this statement, where with
sorry, before Dinesh goes on, just this word eligibility comes up here as well too. Does that, and I'm sorry if I'm confusing the two things, but when we say, let's say, वो clay में sand भरा हुआ, right? So that clay cannot become a pot. Does it mean then that clay, which is full of sand, is not eligible to become a pot?
Yeah, capable, eligible, whatever.
Capable or eligible, okay.
Same thing. Yeah.
That's part of it. Okay. So it doesn't, I guess you can even say it's like the inherent potential. Like it does not exist. There's no inherent potential for it to ever become a pot because it
Exactly.
abounds in sand,
Yeah,
right?
so it
Just
doesn't
like,
have
for
the
example,
Trikali Upadan. So there is no
Yeah.
Trikali Upadan. So naturally, there's no Kshanik
so
Upadan.
using one of the things that we've done, this thing that stuck in my mind about Abhavya Jeev. Abhavya Jeev does not have the capability of reaching moksha ever.
Exactly. Yes.
So, okay. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
In this statement, with very precise words, it has been made clear that neither all kinds of clay are the principal cause of the pot, nor is clay transformed into the state of lump, heap, mass, or mound, etc. The principal cause of the pot, rather, only that clay which, in the immediately succeeding moment, is about to be modified into the mode of the pot, is alone the principal cause of the pot mode. This very fact has been clarified by the aforesaid statement of the Rajavartika. When clay attains such a state, it becomes by rule the principal cause of the pot. For this reason, through the aforesaid statement of the Tattvarthvartika, it has been made clear that only when clay stands directed towards transformation into the pot mode, then the instrumentality of the stick, the wheel, and the human effort is accepted. At other times, they are not accepted as instrumental causes. Clarifying this very fact, it is written in Pramaya.
Kamal Martand.
I'll leave that alone. And when it is asked whether potency is eternal or non-eternal, then the question is whether it is with regard to the potency of the substance or the potency of modification. Substances by nature have potencies of substance and modification. Dravya, Paryay, Shakti. Among these, the potency of substance is indeed eternal, because substance is of the nature of being without beginning and without end. Anadi,
Anadi Nidhan.
Anadi Nidhan. The potency of modification, however, is non-eternal because a modification has beginning and end. Sadi Sant.
Sant.
Sant. If it is said that potency is eternal, then the consequence would follow that the effect is produced without dependence on contributory causes. But this is not so because the ability of only the potency of substance is not accepted. Rather, it is the potency of the substance, when endowed with the potency of modification, that it is capable of producing the effect. For it is only the ability of the substance modified by a specific modification that is observed, and its modification takes place in dependence upon contributory causes, since the potency of modification exists only then. Therefore, neither does the consequences arise that the effect would be produced perpetually, nor does the dependence on contributory causes become meaningless. Wow. Thus, it is
I
understood
don't think this was very difficult. Like, so some of the paragraphs, couple pages prior, maybe could be eased down a little bit. This one I found it quite close to being able to understand. So let's continue.
Thus, it is understood that only the potency of substance endowed within a specific potency of modification and dependent on contributory causes is regarded as effective in producing the effect.
Oh,
Hence,
I see the difference. Here they are not repeating the Siddhantic words, the Hindi words again and again, which is making it easier to read, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference. Okay.
Hence, the effect in substance does not arise merely from the potency of substance on the strength of indifferent or impelling instrumental causes.
Mhm.
If the potency of substance were considered able to produce the effect merely on the strength of external instrumental causes, then wheat would begin to arise even from chickpeas. For wheat is not itself a substance, but rather a modification of matter substance, that is Pudgal Dravya. Therefore, it is a matter substance qualified by a specific modification of wheat, in dependence upon external cause that is transformed into the effect in form of wheat sprouts and the like. If from substance in general, dravya samanya, without a specific modification, the origination of the modifications such as wheat sprouts were accepted on the strength of instrumental causes, then that matter substance that is in the form of chickpeas also being matter substance would likewise begin to produce modification in form of wheat. Therefore, the attempt to prove by citing various worldly examples that whenever strong instrumental causes are present, the substance must necessarily be modified according to them, does not appear proper, since it is not in conformity with the scriptures. In reality, the controversy concerns the principal cause. The dispute persists only because proper attention has not been given to its correct meaning as presented in the scriptures. If, in accordance with the scriptures, the potency of substance, when endowed with specific potency of modification, is accepted as the internal cause, that is, the principal cause and arrangement of cause, and effects is understood in a way that no controversy remains. For in reality, when the potency of the substance is accompanied by specific potency of modification, then it is fit for the intended effect. Then, as a rule, the instrumental cause favorable to that effect do indeed arise. It is never the case that the principal cause exists, yet the instrumental causes are absent. This very point, from the perspective of non-existent conventional viewpoint, asabhut
Asadbhut
vyavharnai
yes.
is expressed as follows. Effect occur corresponding to the instrumental causes present. There is also this point, just as the eternal principal cause is always present, in the same way, generally speaking, instrumental cause too are always present. For just as every substance is the principal cause for its own effect, so too every substance is an instrumental cause for the effect of another. If the instrumental cause in the form of medium of motion, dharma dravya, is always present, then on this basis should jiva or matter particles be in ceaseless motion. In the same way, since the medium of rest, adharma dravya, too is always present, should souls and matter particles be perpetually at rest. But how could this be possible? For if the instrumental causes of motion and rest are always simultaneously present, then will jiva and matter particles move, or will they remain still? Since moving and remaining still are mutually opposed states, both activities cannot occur at the same time. Therefore, what is naturally established in this, all jivas and matter particles undergo motion and rest in accordance with their momentary principal cause in the form of eligibility of the moment. And whenever they undergo motion and rest according to their eligibility, then all those very times the medium of motion and medium of rest becomes merely instrumental cause. In this way, the determinant cause of the times of arising of effect is the momentary principal cause in the form of eligibility of the moment. It is neither the eternal principal cause nor the instrumental cause. Question: Can determinant cause also be of many kinds? Answer: why not? Certainly they can be. The eternal principal cause of each effect, modification, is the determinant cause of this, that the effect, modification, will occur only in a particular substance or in its particular quality, and not in another substance, nor even in another quality of the same substance. The effect in form of a right belief will be accomplished only in the soul substance, Atmadravya, and in its attribute of faith, not in matter substance and the like, nor in the qualities such as knowledge of the soul itself. The momentary principal cause in the form of perishing state of the substance associated with the immediately preceding modification is the determinant cause of the method, vidhi, that is, the effort. From the principal cause, it is ascertained that this effect is accomplished only by this method, by this process, and not in any other way. The momentary principal cause in the form of eligibility of the moment is the determinant cause of the time of arising of the effect in whichever substance or quality at a given time there exists the eligibility of modification into a particular effect. That substance or that quality is modified into precisely that effect at precisely that time. Since another name of effect is also modification, that is, time, for this very reason, the momentary principal cause in the form of eligibility of the moment, which is determinant cause of time, is also called the determinant cause of the effect. In this way, it is established that the determinant cause of nature, Swabhav, is the eternal principal cause. The determinant cause of methods, process of effort, Purushartha Prakriya, is the momentary principal cause in the form of substance associated with the immediately preceding modification. And the determinant cause of time or of effect is momentary principal cause in the form of eligibility of the moment. Here, another question is also possible that since the media of motion and rest are indifferent instrumental causes, therefore they perhaps may not be determinate causes. But such a view should not be held in the case of impelling instrumental cause. On this basis, someone may say that indifferent instrumental causes may indeed do nothing, but impelling instrumental causes certainly do everything. In the study of students, the teacher, the book, and the lamp, all three are instrumental causes. Yet, the teacher is an impelling instrumental cause, while the book and the lamp are indifferent instrumental causes. The lamp and the book may not be called doers, karta, but the teacher must indeed be called a doer, for he actively gives encouragement. He explains, and still, if the student do not engage in study, then he also punishes them. Therefore, compared to the book and the lamp, the position of the teacher is certainly more important. Why not? This point is absolutely clear that the instrumentality of the teacher is of a different kind compared to that of the lamp and the book. It is precisely to clarify this matter that instrumental causes have been divided into two kinds, indifferent and impelling. And it has been explained that in the study of students, the book and the lamp are indifferent instrumental causes, while the teacher is an impelling instrumental cause. Oh, brother, from the above analysis, what real difference is there between the indifferent and impelling instrumental causes? It only becomes clear that the doership, kartatva, of the instrumental cause in the origination of the effect is not established. In this context, the following statement from Hitopadesh is to be noted. Isopadesh. Isopadesh. The ignorant cannot be made knowledgeable by instrumental causes such as instruction, nor can the knowledgeable be made ignorant. For external substances are merely instrumental causes, just as for jivas and the matter particles that move by themselves, the medium of motion, dharmastikai, exists. Can somebody else take, please?
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if they're going to give this example, but they're reaching there. So basically, what they just started saying, Jeev and Pudgal, right? Jeev and Pudgal are always instrumental cause for each other. Okay? How? Give me an example. Can somebody give me
For Samyak Darshan, the Jeev is the Udasin, I mean, this principal cause, but the external practice might be the Nimitta. I mean, it can be that's where the instrumental cause, like
Okay, but then the karma, okay?
yeah,
Mohaniya, remember how we talked about
Shraddha,
Samyak में क्या होता है? मोहनीय का उपशम.
Hmm.
So that मोहनीय का उपशम is the instrumental cause in the Samyak Darshan. काम जीव में हो रहा है. Now, let's take an example where the karma, okay, so Jeev is doing the effort, right? उससे कर्म निर्जरित हो रहे हैं. Jeev is becoming instrument in the karma coming into fruition without showing effect and just leaving. So both sides, it can be Jeev can be Nimit for Pudgal, karma, and karma can be Nimit for Jeev.
so when Samyak Darshan happens, the Jiva is doing its Purushartha. At the same time, karmas are like they are like
Subdued.
releasing. So
Right.
it's yeah. So when karma is releasing, that is also the upadana happening. So the Jiva is also purifying. So it is each other nimitta.
Each other, Nimittik Sambandh, yeah. Okay. So, okay. Dinesh, you want to read now?
Sure. I can try to read the Sanskrit here. Nandeyam bahya nimittakshepaha prapnoti tityatraha anya punar guru vipakshadihi prakritartha samutpada bhramshayo nimittam matram syatatra yogyataya eva sakshat sadhakavat.
Very good.
Here, an objection may arise that in this way, external instrumental causes would be entirely negated. The reply to this is that others, such as the teacher, enemy, etc., are merely instrumental causes in the production and destruction of the given effect. In reality, in the arising or collapse of any effect, it is its eligibility alone that possesses direct efficacy. Sakshat sadhakatva. So is this a synonym for yoga? Yeah, what was that word? One second.
Sakshat Sadhak.
Yogyata.
Yogyata. No.
Samayaka yogata. No, it's I think it's Purushartha here. Sakshat sadhak.
Right. That is the, yes, that's the person doing it. Sakshat Sadhak hoti hai.
Oh, that's the, okay, got it. Okay. So from the aforesaid statement, it becomes absolutely clear that the most efficacious cause, sadhakatma,
Sadhakatam.
with respect to the effect, is the momentary principal cause in the form of eligibility of the moment. The fundamental differences between impelling and indifferent instrumental causes are as follows. So impelling is the prerak, and indifferent is udisana.
And udasi, indifferent.
Substances that are devoid of the power of will, ichcha shakti, and inactive are indifferent instrumental causes. Substances that are endowed with will and activity are called impelling instrumental causes. The medium of motion is an instrumental cause in the movement of jiv and matter particles that move of their own accord, and the medium of rest is an instrumental cause in the rest of jiv and matter particles that are stationary after movement. One second here. and matter particles that are stationary after movement. Space substance, Akash Dravya, is an instrumental cause in the accommodation of all substances, and time substance, Kala Dravya, is an instrumental cause in the modification of all substances. Okay, that's an important paragraph. The four substances, the medium of motion, the medium of rest, space, and time, are devoid of the power of will and are also inactive. Therefore, they are called indifferent instrumental causes. So basically, they're saying these four dravyas are all udasina.
And nimit for everybody, right? Okay. Any kind of mode, whenever we talk about it, the kal dravya is used, right? Parinamanda, change. So kal is how you determine change.
Teachers who instruct students being possessed of will are called impelling instrumental causes. And in the fluttering of a flag, the wind being active is called an impelling instrumental cause. Although the medium of motion, the medium of rest, space substance, and time substance being devoid of the power of will and inactive are called indifferent instrumental causes, and the soul substance being endowed with will and activity, as well as matter being active, are called impelling instrumental causes. Nevertheless, in the origination of an effect, all instrumental causes are indifferent only, just like the medium of motion. Question: is it not right to deny the usefulness of the teacher in the education of students? Are bhai, without the attainment of the omniscience preachings, deshana labdhi, no one can even attain right belief. By receiving the preaching of Charan Riddhi Dhari Muniraj, the Jeev of Lord Mahavir attained right belief in the mode of a lion. The outcome of that very attainment was that Jeev later on became Lord Mahavir. Why then do you deny the instrumental cause in the form of preaching? Okay, so I didn't know that. So Mahavir got Samyak Darshan when he was in lion birth.
Lion, right? We said you can get Samyak Darshan in all four gatis. So there is I think, little difference in the Digambar Parampara. It's lion. In Shwetambar, I think it's Naisar Kabhav or something like that.
Is that one reason that lion is Lanchana of Lord Mahavir, maybe?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Because if that was the case, all the others would have to be.
Right, yeah. Okay.
That's the case.
So answer, who denies the instrumental cause in the form of preaching? What is denied is the doership of the instrumental cause. Just as without the teacher, the education of students is not possible, in the same way, without the lamp and the book, education is also not possible. In the education of students, the teacher, the lamp, and the book all have their usefulness. If it were not so, then why would lamps be lit? Why would books be written? Why would universities be established? And why would, even among monks, there be the position of scriptural teacher, upadhyay? If instrumental causes were being denied, then certainly the above question would arise. Are bhai, but who denies the existence of instrumental causes? Yet it is also worth reflecting. If by preaching alone the welfare of the soul were accomplished, then since many jeeves hear preaching, why does the welfare of all not come about? In a single class, many students study. The teacher who teaches them is the same, the books are the same, and the lamp is the same. Yet all do not become knowledgeable. Each becomes knowledgeable only according to his own eligibility. Similarly, in the same Samosaran, circular divine assembly, okay, that's many jeeves simultaneously hear the religious preaching, dharma upadesh, but not all become possessors of right belief, samyak drishti, or vow takers, vrati, or ascetics, sadhu. Each is transformed only according to his own modification-based eligibility, paryayagat yogyata. Therefore, it is firmly established that with respect to the effect, the determinant cause is one's own modification-based eligibility. Just reflect for a moment. Why was the welfare of the Jeev of Lord Mahavir not accomplished when in the life of Marichi? Was there any lack of favorable instrumental causes there? His father was the universal monarch, Chakravarti Bharat, and his grandfather was Lord Rishabdev, the first promulgator of Dharma. In the Samosaran of Lord Rishabdev, upon hearing that preaching, an oppositional disposition arose in him. Was there any deficiency in that preaching? Was the preaching of the sky-traveling ascetics better than his? From this, it is established that when the modification-based principal cause, paryay gat upadan, is ready, then the effect occurs, and at that very time the appropriate instrumental cause is also necessarily present. It does not have to be sought out. I'm just making notes here. In the mode of a fierce lion deep within the forest, where was there any possibility of preaching? But when his effort was awakened, then the instrumental causes descended from the sky. This is why it is said that one who seeks the welfare of the soul, atmarthi, should not be restless in searching for instrumental causes. Who says that instrumental causes do not exist? Sorry, I'm just making my underlining here. Who says that
That's an
instrumental
important
causes?
thing, that when you're trying to do something,
Mhm.
only believe in yourself. Don't worry about other helping causes. Those will happen
Yeah.
automatically. Things will fall in place.
Yeah, so that is why it is said that one who seeks the welfare and any atmarti should not be restless in searching for instrumental causes.
Mhm.
Who says that instrumental causes do not exist? But neither do they need to be sought out. So basically it's saying that if they're going to come, they're going to come. You don't have to worry about them, right?
Yes.
When the effect arises within the principal cause, then the corresponding instrumental causes are certainly present. Effects do not occur according to instrumental causes. Rather, instrumental causes are spoken of according to the effects. Seeing the dead body of a courtesan, rag arises in the passionate and vairagya arises in the dispassionate. And that courtesan is called the instrumental cause both of the attachment of the passionate and of the detachment of the dispassionate. If effects were to occur according to the instrumental cause, then upon seeing her, either attachment should arise in everyone or detachment should arise in everyone. Acharya Kalp Pandit Toramalji says, an external substance, paradravya, does not forcibly corrupt anything. When one's own dispositions become corrupted, then that too is an external instrumental cause. And since dispositions may also become corrupted without such an instrumental cause, therefore, by rule, it is not always an instrumental cause. Thus, to impute fault to external substances is a false disposition, mithya bhav. Neither does the instrumental cause forcibly do anything in the principal cause, nor does the principal cause forcibly bring or combine with any instrumental causes. Their relationship is simply natural. Pandit Totalmanji has clarified this naturalness of the instrumental cause, instrumental effect relation in the following way. If karma itself were the doer, destroying the nature of the jeev by effort, and combining external materials, then karma would also require sentience as well as strength. But this is not the case. The relation of instrumental cause, instrumental effect is simply natural. Is that the naimittic? Instrumental cause, instrumental effect? Yeah.
Yes.
When the time of the fruition, udayakal, of those karmas arrive, at that time the soul does not modify in accordance with its own nature, but modifies in the form that is contrary to its nature, vibhav, and the other substances align and transform in their respective relationships. Just as at the time of sunrise, in some species the union of the male and female birds take place, at night no one has forcibly separated them out of malice, and in the day no one has brought them together out of compassion. With sunset as the instrumental cause, they separate of themselves, and with sunrise as the instrumental cause, they unite of themselves. Such is the instrumental cause instrumental effect relation. In the same way, the instrumental cause instrumental effect nature of karma should be understood. The instrumental cause instrumental effect relation is a natural relation. It is not appropriate to present it in the form of a doer deed, karta karma relation. Denying the relation of doership with the non-self para, Acharya Amrit Chandra writes, Ato na nishchayatah parena sahatmanah कारकत्वसंबंधो श्रीयतः शुद्धात्मस्वभावलाभाय समाग्रिमार्गनव्यग्रतया paratantrairбhूर्यते. Therefore, in reality, the soul has no relation of doership with the other. Nevertheless, for the attainment of the realization of the pure soul, Shuddhatma Labh, the Jeev, no one knows why, becomes anxiously dependent on the other. That's an interesting thing. No, one knows not why. Okay. This is, as you always keep saying, this is just the nature of the universe, the way that it is,
That
right?
it is, right? Yeah, they gave that example of the birds, two birds,
Mhm.
certain types of birds, they come together at night, and as soon as the daylight happens, they naturally can't find each other, or vice versa, whatever it said there. That nobody separated them at night, but it just, that's the way nature things happen.
Yeah, there's actually, the animal examples are very good because you find many examples in the animal kingdom of the animals can navigate across the world and do all sorts of things, and it looks like instrumental cause, but it's not. They just, something is hardwired in them, right? Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Or the sun being instrumental in the plants to grow.
Right.
Sun has no will to do any of that. It's just, fascinating.
Yeah. Should I continue a little more?
Just read one more page, then somebody else can take
All right.
it. The
Clarifying
reason I'm
this.
just making you guys read it is at least you've done one reading this way in class. So when you're answering questions in exams or studying for the exam, then if there's something just obviously very difficult to understand, then you can ask at least in the class.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Clarifying this very point, in the essence of this very verse, it is written, in the aforesaid way, a substance is itself complete with its treasure in the form of infinite potencies, Ananta Shakti. Therefore, it is itself capable of assuming the form of the sixfold causatives, Shat Karak Roop, and of performing its own function. External materials cannot render it any assistance. Hence, for the soul desirous of omniscience, Keval Dhyan, to remain dependent on external materials by expecting them is meaningless. In the pure nature of disposition, Swabhava Bhav, there is no doership of the other, and even when disposition is contrary to pure nature, the doership of the other has been denied. This point has been clearly explained in the commentary titled Samay Vyakya by Acharya Amrita Chandra on verse 62 of the Panchastikaya Sangraha. Clarifying the sense of the commentary, the original statement in the essence is stated as follows. In this way, the activity of matter being modified in the form of karmic fruition and the like, or in the form of karmic bondage and the like, is in reality matter. Matter itself that functions by its own nature in the form of its sixfold causative. Therefore, it has no dependence upon other factors. Likewise, the activity of the dispositional transformation of Jeev during the fruition of karma and the like, it is in reality the Jeev itself that functions in the form of its sixfold causatives. Therefore, it too has no dependence upon other factors. The aforesaid activities of matter and of the Jeev occur at the same time. Nevertheless, when matter is engaged in its activity, the sixfold causatives belonging to matter are entirely different from and independent of the soul's sixfold causatives and vice versa. In reality, the factors, karak, of one substance have no dependence upon the factors of any other substance. From this statement, it is
I like that point that they're proving that no substance is dependent on the other.
Yeah. From this statement, it is exceedingly clear that this divine soul, Bhagwan Atma itself, in the form of its pure modification, such as right belief, knowledge, conduct, samyak darshan, jnana, charitra, and in the form of its impure modifications, such as attachment, raga, and the like, is modified entirely by itself according to the eligibility of its own respective moments. Swasamayaki yogyata. In this, there is no intervention of what is non-self, that is, of any instrumental cause. Yes, it is indeed the case that when the soul, in the form of pure modifications, such as right belief and the like, or in the form of impure modifications, such as attachment and the like, is modified according to its natural and modification-based eligibility, then the corresponding instrumental causes are certainly present. Therefore, the statement is not untrue that without instrumental causes, an effect does not occur. But that statement merely shows only the inevitable presence of instrumental causes, nothing more than that. It should be kept in mind that from the mere inevitable presence of an instrumental cause, it cannot be regarded as the doer or as the most efficacious cause. An instrumental cause is always in the form of another substance, as is clear from the following statement. Upadan nijgun jahan, taham nimitta para hoya.
Okay. Now, somebody else wants to pick up reading. Okay, one more thing before we go forward with that is, okay, between the people that are present right now, is there any day better, Thursday or Friday, or both are equally good?
I'm for both. I mean,
Okay. If anybody has any objection to either one, otherwise, Amitji or somebody will check with Viraj if he's back on, just for the benefit of that
I'm
student.
not available on Friday.
Okay.
Thursday is a better day, yeah.
Okay, let's just do it tomorrow then. Okay, so one more thing. Anybody ready with their Gandhar yet? Or we should wait till next week on that and just
I'm
continue?
definitely ready for next week, not tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, tomorrow we'll continue with the book, but then next week we'll do some pages from the book and one Gandhar like that. We'll try to split it so that way we can get those also.
Yeah, I can read. There is 15 minutes left.
Yeah.
If the instrumental cause is regarded as the doer or as the most efficacious cause, then by considering one substance as the doer of another, the independent existence of the substance is violated. In this context, the following statement from the Jaina Tattva Mimamsa is to be noted. If the origination of every modification of every entity is assumed to be according to only external instrumental causes, then each entity itself would be inherently dependent on others. In such condition, the self-based arrangement of bondage liberation of jivas, the natural modifications of atoms and four substances such as medium of motion and the perpetual continuation in worldly existence, samsara, of the soul not capable of liberation, abhavya, and of the soul which is capable of liberation but will never achieve it, durandura bhavya, would not be possible. Therefore, in every substance, there must be an order, inherent as the very form of its own nature, and so forth, by virtue of which the origination and the perishing at every moment take place of themselves. The objective causes, distinct for each moment, are precisely what in the scriptures have been designated from reality as the principal cause. From this, it becomes clear that the ascertainment of every effect at every moment is ensured by the real principal cause. To deny this assured arrangement on the basis of sensory perception, logic, or experience is nothing less than obliterating the very relation of cause and effect grounded in substance. I consider this to be the greatest offense in the form of disrespecting scripture. Every substance is, by its very nature, subject to transformation. When, though eternal, continuous modification is the very nature of every substance, then why should it require dependence on another substance in its modification? For nature is intrinsically dependent. How can that which depends on another be regarded as a nature? Instrumental causes are also classified as internal instrumental causes and external instrumental causes. The primary instrumental causes are called internal, and the secondary instrumental causes are called external. In the case of karmic bondage, the dispositions of attachment and the like of the soul are internal instrument causes, while the activities of mind, speech, and body are external instrumental causes. In the cognition of substance, the substance cum destruction, kshayopsham, of knowledge obscuring karma is the internal instrumental cause, while the senses, light, and so forth are external instrumental causes. In the attainment of right belief, the destruction, subsidence cum destruction, or subsidence of faith deluding karma, darshana mohinia karma, is the internal instrumental cause, while the teacher's preaching, Guru Padesha, is external instrumental cause. Whether instrumental causes are internal or external, still they remain instrumental causes. In the origination of an effect, the position of all instrumental causes is nearly the same. Therefore, no instrumental cause can be regarded as the doer or as the most efficacious cause. Although the dispositions of attachment and the like of the soul and the fruition, destruction, subsidence cum destruction, and subsidence, upsham, of karmas are generally described as internal instrumental causes. Nevertheless, in this regard, the following statement of Acharya Amrita Chandra is to be noted. Jivakritam parinamam nimitta matram prapadde punaranye swayameva parinamante tra pudgalah karma bhavena parinamam
Parinamanasya
parinamanasya chidatmakai swayampi swakair bhavati hi nimittamatram pudgalikam karma tasyapi. By taking the soul's transformations in the form of attachment and the like merely as the instrumental cause, other matter aggregate themselves, undergo modifications into karma such as knowledge obscuring karma, jnana varna. In the same way, while the soul itself undergoes modification in the form of dispositions such as attachment, the fruition of matter karma is merely an instrumental cause. In the aforesaid statement, Acharya Amrita Chandra, through the phrase themselves undergo transformation, swayameva parinamante, has made it clear that each substance, according to the eligibility of its own principal cause, transforms by itself. In its transformation, other substances are merely instrumental causes. In this context, the following statement is also to be noted. Properly understood, what is called an instrumental cause in the scriptures does not, in reality, render even the slightest assistance in the origination of the effect in another. Yet to hold that without its assistance, the effect could not occur. This is the disposition of fixated misapprehension. Dhyavasana bhava. Each entity itself negates this in its own time of arising of the effect, because all insentient and sentient entities undergo modification of themselves without dependence on others. Nevertheless, the relations such as qualificand, qualifier, visheshan, vishesha, instrumental cause, instrumental effect, and container, contained, adhara, adeya, sambandha, which are spoken of between two substances of distinct existence, are admitted only from the perspective of the non-existent conventional standpoint. Ultimate reality, Paramartha is that there is no relation between them. Therefore, wherever in the scripture it is said that anger arises in the jiva from the fruition of the conduct deluding karma, charitra mohaniya karma, called anger, krodha, that should be understood only as figurative statement, upacharita kathan, made on the basis of coincidence in time, kala pratyasati, that is, at the same time, independent of the fruition of the conduct deluding karma, the conduct deluding modification in the form of anger itself arises. Neither did that karma in ultimate reality assist in the arising of anger, nor did that state of anger in ultimate reality assist in fruition of that karma. Each produced its own modification without dependence upon the other. Still, on account of coincidence in time with a specific intent in view, the non-existent convention asadbhuta vyavahara is adopted, saying that anger arose from the fruition of anger producing karma. The import is this: when in the principal cause there is the eligibility to be modified in the form of an effect, it itself becomes modified in the form of that effect. At that very time, the external association is an instrumental cause in it, because there is, by rule, an external concomitance between external associations that has assumed the status of instrumental cause and the effect in the substance that is principal cause. This is what is called coincidence in time.
So it's circumstantial evidence or coincidence. So this is important concept to understand, because usually we always find cause and effect, cause and effect. But so here they're proving two things are happening at the same time. They're independent of each other.
Yeah.
And yet they're happening at the same time. So there is nimittik sambandh.
Yeah. In Kannada, we normally use it like kakatali. I don't know whether it is in Hindi also.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's a thing from the from Agam. What that means, the kakat something, whatever it is. So if a crow is flying, right, and his beak is open and suddenly some food gets into it. So it's like it's a matter of coincidence that his beak opened and some food got dropped into his mouth.
Yeah. So we normally say when
it's called.
Yeah. When crows sit on a branch of a tree, it fell down. The branch broke down. So it's because of the crow, or the branch is about to break itself. So it's
Right.
kakatali.
That's they call it Kaktalinya. Yeah.
I think we can read the next paragraph, I believe. Okay. If external associations were to be taken as the real cause, then just as a parrot, by virtue of its natural ability, begins to read in the presence of external associations, in the same way, even without natural ability, a heron too ought to read by the force of the external associations. But even with the countless efforts, a heron cannot read by the force of the external instrumental cause, while a parrot can. From this, it is evident that the external associations are merely an instrumental cause in the effect. Whatever effect occurs only when the modification-based eligibility is obtained in the substance. For this reason, Bhattakalanka Deva, defining destiny, Daiva, has written in his commentary, Ashtashati Tika, Purakratam Karma Yogyata Cha Daivam, that is, past karma and eligibility. These two together are called destiny. See, in the 14th stage of spiritual development, Gunasthana, although the fruition of the pain feeling, asata vedaniya karma is present, there is neither the suffering arising from it nor its experience, because at the time the jiva is lacking the substance modification eligibility. Therefore, the conclusion of the doctrine is that the existence or activity of external association is not the determinant cause of the effect. Only the substance modification eligibility inherent in the principal cause is the determinant cause, because in the next moment after such a principal cause, the origination of the effect is invariably observed. Therefore, in conclusion, it should be understood that every substance being of the nature of self-transformative while remaining eternal performs its own function by itself. This is the reality. The instrumental cause that is accepted in the occurrence of an effect is accepted only from the standpoint of non-existent convention, not in ultimate reality. They,
So there's just, I guess you might as well finish. There's only a couple of paragraphs
Yeah.
left. And then next class we'll start the question answer.
Okay, therefore, even though statements of absolute viewpoint, Nishchayanaya, its absolute viewpoint, Nishchayanaya, are rightly one-sided, Ekanta Rup. Through them, the very establishment of non-absolutism or relative pluralism, Anekanta, takes place. Whereas, if one accepts the assistance of another as a reality, as presented in the statements from the viewpoint of non-actual convention, then in ultimate reality, it actually proves to be destructive of non-absolutism. From the entire foregoing discussion, the question of what place do the principal cause and the instrumental cause have in the origination of effect becomes exceedingly clear when considered without the delusion of partisanship, paksha vyamoha. No room for controversy remains. Not studying the Jina's word, Jinavani, in depth is the root cause of philosophical disputes. Therefore, the only means to avoid philosophical disputes is the deep self-study, swadhyaya, of the Jina's word, not only for resolving philosophical disputes, but even more for the welfare of the soul. The Jina's word is in foremost place the supreme refuge.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think the second section starts next page.
But I have two more small paragraphs.
Oh, yeah, there are two more, and then question number one question. You want me to read those two?
Two little paragraphs, then we'll
Okay.
start questions.
In the four, okay, second section, instrumental and principal cause, some questions and answers. In the foregoing analysis made in the light of the scriptures and the supreme scriptures, the nature of the instrumental cause and the principal cause have indeed been made quite clear. Nevertheless, some questions continue to stir the minds of aspirants who seek the welfare of the soul. It would not be inappropriate to provide answers to those questions also in the light of scriptures and supreme scriptures. With this consideration, in this section of questions and answers, some deliberation is undertaken on certain important questions. Okay, then
Tomorrow
question.
we'll do that. And well, to me, this was a lot of repetition. I'm not sure how it helps. I would think the questions are going to be similar, covering the same thing. But we'll at least start with it. And if you guys think you have some time and you want to read ahead, that would help, because then we don't have to take class time. And they're going to be a simpler, easier read than whatever we read.
Yeah.
So, because we already in the explanations, I went through a lot of examples and kind of be proved with different examples. And I think that is more important, that you get the concepts down pat and be able to apply, come up with. I think, didn't your LCPA also have a question like that on Nimittupaadan? Have you guys done? Are you should all be done to, with 15th is coming up. With the 2 assignments and LCP upload. I think that's what Amit ji put in the date. You're talking on mute, Bahubali ji.
I mean, I did mine, but I need to cross check whether my uploads are still valid.
Oh yeah, let Amit ji check on that, because I think they changed, they revamped the Moodle thing. So
If
yes,
you go to the regular exam practical Jainism, it automatically now goes to the new site, and
okay,
you may have to just re-upload it there.
Okay.
So, but
all
you
right.
should be able to log in with the same credentials in the new site.
So it's a new thing that opens up. So if you upload it before, it's not showing. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, that's
I can't see where I upload. I had already uploaded 2 assignments, and I don't see them now. They're in the new. It goes to the new site, but I just have to upload it again.
Okay. So, so who has finished LCPA? Was there a question on Nimittupaadan?
I can find out. I mean,
No, I mean, I thought if all so one of you have done it, you would remember if there was a question.
We still have 5 days. Haven't done it yet.
Yeah, and I might need an extension. I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll ask. Sorry.
Okay. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है वंदना शत